Hello?
Well, then fuck that mic.
What are we doing? What are we doing?
You're listening to the only podcast that admits they might know what they are talking about.
I hope everyone has a ball.
This is We Might Know Sports.
Yeah, this is nice.
Come on. I love you.
With Kevin,
Don't listen to Stefan and his crumble.
Stefan,
Say my name right if you're gonna come on this fucking show, dude.
and Corey.
Solid A+.
We like sports and we don't care who knows.
Where are we at in society today?
I feel like I just destroyed my life in general.
Not forget Jesus, people.
There's a no-hitter right now, bottom of the seventh. Oh, never mind, no longer a no-hitter.
Without Jerry McNamara, we wouldn't have won 10 fucking games this year.
The ceiling is the roof. Let's make it happen.
You should have started reeling because I've been all over that.
And here we go.
Alright, episode 65. The unwinding adventures of We Might Know Sports. Always fun. Some things happened this past weekend in the fighting world. We'll get to that.
Quite a few things in both worlds.
Yes. So much that I need a break from fighting. So after this week, we're going to take a week off.
Hey! God, the week that I'm gonna be gone.
Yeah. So we don't have to worry about fighting.
Could have done it on a week I'd be here.
Nah.
No.
How are you guys? How was your weekends?
Busy, but I'm good. Kids are sick. I'm healthy
For now.
for now.
Those germs will infiltrate.
Yeah.
They'll get to you.
Oh, yeah.
They always do.
Always.
My kids are not sick. Haven't been produced yet.
Thank God.
Living the dream.
Living the dream.
Got about 2 weeks left of school. Hopefully.
Forever?
Forever, ever?
Forever.
Hopefully. I mean, unless I decide to go for my bachelor's.
Why would you want to do that?
Because I will.
Yeah, I'm one to talk.
Isn't the big jump going to your master's, though?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the big pay increase.
Yeah.
That's also the big debt increase, too.
Bachelor's, you're not.
Yeah, some people help pay for it
Yeah.
Sometimes.
sometimes. Shout out to Wegmans. That's why I've worked my life away there.
What?
Alright, let's talk about sports for a little bit here,
Alright.
and then we'll get into life in
Already
general.
fucked it up.
Corey went too deep.
Never
Worked there. I'm sure it's a fine place to work, though.
Fine establishment.
Mm-hmm.
Salt of the earth. So the NBA playoffs are near us, which means you two fine gentlemen are in Nirvana right now.
Mm-hmm.
Getting there.
Until my picks make me want to go Kurt Cobain.
You haven't even made picks yet.
No, not yet, but I'm sure I'll get it wrong, and then
Well, I mean, I already know you're going to pick Cleveland out of the East, so that's one wrong.
that's one right. I got people begging me to cash out on bets.
I wasn't.
Listen, a lot of shit happened after that bet, okay? That I wasn't planning on happening.
This guy's still confident. While we're on the NBA, I mean, he's got the Fresh Prince going all the way.
I don't know what's in the water in Seattle, but
By the way, the
reality.
nickname's great for
That's
Ben
what-
Simmons, though. I like it.
I mean,
The Fresh Prince.
Wow.
That's what they're calling him. I like it. Will the king and the prince be on the same team, though? That's the big question.
No.
well, let's wait until after the playoffs. They might not even need him.
Hey, if you have a shot at the best player in the league, whether you win a championship or not, you take him.
That's like Golden State winning a championship and they're going,
We'll take KD.
or wait, did they lose?
They
that?
lost,
They
so
lost
that
that
took
year.
him. But still.
Anytime you have a chance to make your team that much better, you take that.
While we're on it, pull up the standings.
I did.
Yes, sir.
Well, I'm not as good on the tabs. Except the bar tabs. I pay.
It's okay. I just realized I didn't have it pulled up for the viewers at home.
So it's...
Speaking
Sounds
of,
like a-
hold on, before we get there, a shout out to Stefan's dad who called me out on our wing challenge. I didn't even notice this until well after our next podcast. He goes, Stefan's gonna eat all 5. Kevin, 1 or 2. Proved you wrong. I did 3, and then I went back and finished them.
We're still baffled at why you went back and finished them.
They were.
Didn't want to waste his money.
You know what? It's call me psychotic or whatever. I kind of want to order some more and try them again.
Oh yeah, you're psychotic.
Yep. We'll call you psychotic.
I will do a hard pass on ordering those again.
I say I want to try spicier.
No, you don't.
I actually like the flavor.
I didn't enjoy the flavor.
Maybe
I enjoy the habanero, and they're hot, but not nearly that.
should try the one in between the. What is it, blazing? No, we did blazing.
We did blazing.
The hot, I think, is in between.
No, it's not just hot.
All right, you
Yeah,
guys
'cause I
go
think-
and do your NBA. I'm looking this up.
You look it up.
I think hot is below habanero, but there is one in between habanero and blazing, I think.
Let's talk about these standings.
Okay, you said a lot has happened since we made the bet. Do you want to get right out? Kyrie Irving not being available for the rest of the year for Boston. Do you really think that squanders any chance of anything?
I mean, I wasn't sure if they were going to be able to win a championship anyways.
Mm-hmm.
But without Kyrie, I think it definitely drastically changes their odds of winning a championship, let alone coming out of the East.
I will say, though, next year, I don't care if LeBron goes to Philly or if he goes to Toronto or wherever he goes. I still think if Philly has Kyrie and Hayward, they're going to be a contender, no matter
Boston.
what. Yeah, sorry, if Boston has them, they're a contender no matter what.
Mm-hmm. Just what they did this year without Gordon Hayward
You know what I mean?
for literally the whole year. He played, 10 minutes or something? If even that.
I don't think it matters. I mean, we can get to the LeBron thing. I honestly don't even think he's leaving. But
Who do you think is going to be the MVP though?
of the league,
Yeah,
I think it's James Harden, which sounds crazy because Russell has a shot at a triple-double season again.
back-to-back years, which
Back
never
to
back.
been done.
And he'd be the only player to ever get 2.
Mhm.
But if you look at the stats,
Nobody's hyping up his triple-double this year like they were last year.
because last year he didn't have help. You know what I mean? Like, he
Yeah.
was the man of the team. And then I looked it up today. He had over 31 a game. And then like 10.8, 10.7 or something like that. Those numbers I'm not as sure on. But I know he averaged 31. This year he had 26 points per game. And then he's at 10 point something and 9.9. So the scoring's down. And then on James
which
Harden,
we expected.
yeah, and James Harden this year though is averaging over 30 a game. He has 8 assists and 8 assists and 5 or 6 boards. So his stats are actually down as far as boards and assists, but his points are way up.
Right.
So I just figure people expected OKC to be a contender this year, so the expectations were lower last year and what he was able to do for them, and almost even beating Golden State too, giving them a run. I thought that boded well for his argument, and this year not so much because we expect them to be where they're at. Houston is kind of the surprise. I don't think anybody expected them to be by far and away the best record.
Right.
Like, it's not even really, I mean, it's cool, 6 games, but
Yeah.
they sealed it early. So I think Harden's going to get credit for that. But if I'm being totally honest, what's the difference between MVP and the best player in the league?
If you could take that player out of there.
Isn't that the best player, though?
Not necessarily.
Explain.
Because you can argue that, say, Kevin Durant is the best player in the league.
Mm-hmm.
If you took Kevin Durant off Golden State, would they still win that many games?
No.
You don't think they'd still win that? They were winning that many games without him. What do you mean?
I think they're substantially worse.
A full, healthy Golden State team without Kevin Durant would win that many games.
Why does Harden deserve it? And let's just get straight to it. Let's be honest. If you remove LeBron from Cleveland, they aren't sniffing 50 wins.
They're not sniffing the playoffs.
How's he not them? Like, I don't get why it's a Russell Harden conversation. How is he not the MVP? I went with Harden because I know that's most likely the shoe-in. But let's be honest, there's not a huge difference between the best player and the MVP debate. If you take LeBron James off Cleveland and put him on any team in the whole NBA, they become better. I don't care if it's Golden State. They're better. How is that not the MVP of the league? Is it just because we're all sick of giving it to him every year? Yeah, that shouldn't be the reason, though. He should still get it every year. It's just getting old. Like, I feel starting. I mean, he's 33. He's putting up ridiculous numbers. His team wouldn't sniff the playoffs without him.
Did you see he's put up the most minutes this year also?
Yeah, and he's going to play 82 games for the first time in his career. It's just, but nah.
He's averaging like 37 minutes or something like that.
Like he said, like he should be taking a step back and be feeling really grateful and like for what this team did this year, winning their division, clinching a playoff, getting 50 games or 50 wins for the 10th time in a row for him. But it's hard when he said it's hard to sit back and appreciate that when you expect greatness every single year. But I think this year, at least, he should sit back and feel pretty happy with what they were able to do with everything Cleveland went through this year. I think it's a pretty amazing story. But then you do have just James Harden seems unstoppable on the offensive end this year, and Russell's going to do or could do something historic. No one's ever had 2 seasons of it. So how do you weigh all that?
See how far each of them goes in the playoffs. I don't know.
I think there's been co-MVPs before. Am I wrong? Could it be one of those years where people can't decide?
Probably not.
I feel like it always is. I'm not sure co-MVP has ever happened.
Yeah, I don't know.
I know co-Rookie of the Year has happened, but I don't think co-MVP has.
I can't imagine though.
Yeah.
I think just because of what Houston's done this year, like, yeah, granted, what LeBron is doing with the players he has is pretty amazing. But I think, you know, it's like, I don't even think it's all James Harden. Like, do I think that they'd win 64 games without James Harden? No. But I think they'd still be in the playoffs. I mean, they still have a good team. Still have Chris Paul. Still have, you know, plenty of other role players there.
No, if you're going to go that way, I mean, I heard he's like 5th in votes, but honestly, I don't think San Antonio makes the playoffs without LaMarcus Aldridge this year.
Oh, definitely not.
So, like, he should be in the running. Like I said, I heard he's a top 5 vote getter, and he should be. If you're going to say we take a player away.
Yeah.
Same with Anthony Davis in New Orleans, which I know he's like 3rd or 4th. I'm naming all the top vote getters,
right.
But if you took him off, same thing. I don't know if I hate to say it because I like Lillard, but I don't know if he matters that much. They have McCollum who puts up similar numbers. Golden State, maybe you're right. It doesn't matter so much. I don't think they win 58 without Durant.
I think they still win over 50.
Yeah. It seems that Steph Curry hurts them more.
Yeah.
They're like have a losing record without him this year. So that's why I think that 2-7 matchup, whatever it pans out to be, is extremely interesting on both the East and the West. Because Boston's without their guy and Golden State's without their guy. They have upset potential, which is rare for the NBA. It's normally chalk.
Boston almost got upset last year.
Mm-hmm.
Should have got upset last year.
Mm-hmm. But they made it through, and then they lost. I mean, chalk to me is Cleveland expected to come out every year. Well, it doesn't matter what seed they are. That's chalk.
What's your input, Kevin?
Sixers.
That's all you got.
They have the ability to go in as the hottest team ever into the NBA playoffs if they win out. Right now, they are sitting with a 14-game winning streak. If they finish off, that'd be 16. The record's 15, so there's that. So it'll be interesting to see, especially since Simmons is playing even better without Embiid. I just it's hard to sit there and say, well, Cleveland's chalk going into the playoffs just because of LeBron, especially since LeBron can't make free throws at the end of the game.
But the last 3 years, it's been chalk, so why would we think any different?
Because it is different. He's got a different team with him this year. He's basically the team, and we've seen how he does when that happens, or at least Cleveland. They don't do well. At least last year he had Love.
He has Love this year.
Well, does he?
Yes.
Yeah, well,
That's I won't go beyond that.
Love.
I agree with you. There's nothing beyond that.
Yeah.
He's going to need huge help when they play home games because role players tend to only play well at home. So when they're home, he's going to need big games from Jordan Clarkson, Larry Nance Jr., those players. And on the road, he's going to have to be the guy, the man. And like I've heard in other sports, and we saw with Michael Jordan, teams freeze up when greatness is on the court and they're sniffing a victory. And I don't. Toronto chokes every year when they play Cleveland. They throw it away because they get scared when LeBron's on the court. I don't think Philly's going to be any different.
I think Philly's big knock against them is just lack of experience.
That's
lack of playoff experience.
That's what that's going to. When LeBron puts the heat on them, they're going to freeze.
It's not even just LeBron, just any other team. I mean, if they right now they're playing Milwaukee, which is another inexperienced team.
That'll be a fun series if that pans out that way.
But if they played, say, Miami or Washington, if one of I don't think Washington can get up there, but if Miami gets up there,
Washington can, right? They're only a half game back.
a game and a half.
16 and a half.
Some fact checking.
But they're
while
playing
you guys
the 16
are doing that
right now. If they stay in the third,
Right.
Let's see here. There has not been two co-MVPs for the league, so that is one fact. The second fact is Buffalo Wild Wings' second hottest sauce is wild.
Wild sauce.
Mm-hmm. Hot is their fourth.
All right. Now that the playoffs are somewhat set, any dark horses? What about for you, Kevin? I know you said Philly. Is there any other team out of the East?
They're not a dark horse if I'm picking them. Out of the East?
Yeah.
Cleveland. They're my dark horse. Or, no, Boston. Because of all the injuries they've done, and yet they're still, 4.5 out of first place in the Eastern Conference.
Mm-hmm.
I would consider them a dark horse with the latest with Kyrie.
I would agree. I think everyone's saying Philly, Cleveland, or Toronto.
Mm-hmm. So
I would say any other team other than those three is a dark horse.
I feel like Boston, I would lean more towards just because it's like next man up for them.
Marcus Smart's supposed to be coming back. I don't know if he's coming back.
Tatum been healthy? Is he playing?
Tatum's been playing. Brown's been playing.
Horford.
I think so, yeah.
And then I heard Rozier's been playing real well.
Rozier's been playing well.
Yeah. My dark horse for the East, because obviously I think Cleveland, and other than the other two teams, I would say is Indiana. I think they're playing at a high level, and I like what they're playing, like how Boston kind of did last year. Their superstar was, I guess, Isaiah Thomas with his scoring, and they have that with Oladipo, but then the rest of the team is playing as a good unit, and they're all playing defense. Although it would surprise me if Indiana beats Cleveland right out the gate, I think to a lot of like diehard NBA analysts, that isn't a surprise.
Out of the West, any surprises to Houston, Golden State, you think?
I'm going to go out on a limb and say San Antonio because it's Popovich, and I never count him out.
I've counted him out. He's done.
I like what Aldridge is doing. A good shooting big man is always a matchup problem. Problem is for San Antonio, they aren't going with the new wave, which is shooting threes. So against Golden State or Houston, that's going to be a tough win. Even against Portland, who's shooting a lot of threes this year. It's going to be tough. They're going to have to dominate down low.
Say my dark horse is Portland. If it was anybody outside of the top two.
Mm-hmm.
I just think that they've kind of quietly had a really solid year.
You don't like OKC with the star potential once the playoffs start for them to rev up the intensity?
You know, I wouldn't be surprised because I just don't like that they're more than likely looking like they're going to play either Houston or Golden State. And I just don't like.
One thing in Russell's favor is he does seem to have Golden State's number for whatever reason.
But I did notice, like, what was it, last night they played OKC?
Yeah.
And it was kind of like a winner. You're looking on the outside looking in. And Russ went off. I don't know what his stats were, but I know he had some put up some good stats. So
I know they were down big in the third quarter, and he brought them back, and they won. Yeah.
So I mean, they definitely have the potential to, when they're down, their backs against the wall, to get it going. Russ just always seems to have like another notch where he just kicks it up.
I think. Would you agree that maybe only him and LeBron have that extra notch? I feel like since the Kobe era, who Kobe definitely had another gear.
Yeah.
I haven't seen anyone except LeBron and him really have another gear like that. For me. Durant kind of showed flashes last year.
Yeah. He was the only one I could think of.
That was the first time I've seen him play aggressive, and then he's played super aggressive this year and he's gotten a ton of technicals. But I guess I want to see it twice, whereas I know LeBron and Russell do it year in and year out.
Right.
That's all I got for the NBA. I think Ben Simmons deserves Rookie of the Year, too, while we're on it.
Like the guy from Michigan.
Yeah.
Still, stick with him. Wherever he's at.
He's on Milwaukee.
Whatever bench he's sitting on.
DJ Wilson.
We will have our brackets filled out before the playoffs start, but that is before our next podcast, so we'll recap our picks as well as the NBA.
And we'll recap Stefan's without him, I guess.
Yeah, well, we recapped your conference without you, so it's doable. All right.
And we'll be like three days deep, or 2 days deep, NBA one and done.
Sure.
Yeah. I'm excited for that.
Gotta make sure everybody's on knows what they're doing.
Yeah.
Everyone that's
Gotcha.
committed is committed.
I should probably write out like a little rule thing, so nobody can
Can't
pretend like
change
they
it.
don't know the rules. At least we don't have Matt in there trying to manipulate everything. Trying to find an edge on something.
Loophole.
Yeah.
2 points here.
And the loopholes.
Well, he got 2 offensive rebounds. That should add an extra point because it's offensive.
No.
All right, let's talk about our second favorite sport to talk about, the Stanley Cup playoffs.
Hey.
We have not addressed any hockey for the most part this year, I'm pretty sure. I'm trying to think. Have we?
No. That's how baseball is going to be. Once October comes, we'll talk about it.
No, we'll talk in a little bit about the other sport. But for hockey, everyone starts to care around Stanley Cup playoffs. There's nothing really much like it. This year, it looks like they changed up the way the bracket works, and it's like divisional, like the top. I don't even understand it, honestly. They have 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3, and then 2 wild cards on either conference. And Nashville, my favorite from last year, is back.
Good regular season team. Can't get it done in the playoffs.
Although this year, they are the overall favorite to win it.
Yes. They went
According
all
to
the way
Vegas.
to the Stanley Cup finals, I believe, last year, and then just couldn't finish the job. Winnipeg, Minnesota, and Colorado round out the top part of that bracket. Vegas, first year in the NHL, number 1 seed. Boom. Way to show that a team can't make it in Vegas. I think they were also the first team to clinch their spot. LA, Anaheim, San Jose, and then we have Tampa Bay, New Jersey, Boston, Toronto in the upper right, Washington, Columbus, Pittsburgh, and Philadelphia in the bottom right. So, going in alphabetical order, Corey, why did you pick the way you picked? As soon as I find your picks.
How did I pick? Let's see. I went with Nashville coming out of their little division. Don't really know much about the other 3, so that's the honest answer. So I just push them through. They're also the odds-on favorite to win the whole thing, so they got to be decent, right? And then for the Vegas one, I picked Vegas over LA because I don't think LA is that good this year. I've been paying attention a little bit to them. Anaheim, San Jose. San Jose always seems to turn it on come playoff time, so I picked them over that. I picked Vegas over San Jose just because I'd like to see Vegas succeed. I don't know if I really believe that will happen, but I went with it because I don't have them going past Nashville anyways, so I put Nashville over Vegas to make it to the championship on that side. Then I picked Tampa Bay over New Jersey and Boston over Toronto, the two of the top 3 favorites to win the whole thing. That one was really hard for me to pick a winner, but being that we live in Syracuse and the Cruncher, their farm team, I went with Tampa Bay. Then I did Washington over Columbus because I think Ovechkin will get it done. Pittsburgh always gets it done. I can trust Crosby. Ovechkin versus Crosby. Ovechkin always chokes. So I put Crosby over them. And this one, I honestly think whoever wins between Tampa Bay and Pittsburgh is going to win the whole thing. I happen to go with Tampa Bay. I just don't know if Pittsburgh can do it 3 years in a row. So I went with Tampa Bay, and I went with them as the champion because Nashville, I think, will choke out. Those are my picks. Quick recap.
Corey keeps quoting these odds, so I'm looking them up.
Yeah, I looked him up. He's right. It's Nashville,
Yeah.
Boston, Tampa. Top 3.
Vegas is 4, Penguins 5. Tell you one thing, the Devils, not the favored ones going into the Stanley Cup Finals with the least likely to win. But before we talk about that, let's talk about my picks. Nashville, Minnesota advancing out of the first round. I was all over Nashville last year, so carrying them to the conference finals. Vegas, my new Nashville team. Have them going all the way. Anaheim, just because I like Mighty Ducks over San Jose. It's the only reason, because I know nothing else about them. And then on the other side, Tampa Bay, because, Tampa Bay, everything else. Why not hockey? And they're number 1 seed, so it can't hurt. Boston, because it's Boston. Washington, I regret not picking, but I feel like Columbus is going to surprise some people, making it all the way to the conference finals. And then Sid the Kid is going to end the Philly run. And so Vegas, Tampa in the finals, with Vegas strong all the way.
And you surprisingly have Columbus out of that whole thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, gotta mix it up a little bit.
Sleeper run, which actually happens in hockey quite a bit. So.
Mm-hmm. And I listened to someone say they have the best chance to make that run, so I went with it.
Who'd you listen say that? Some homeless guy?
No, some hockey expert on ESPN. So yeah, a homeless guy, because they don't want...
Not Barry, was it?
No. Whoever was on Wingo and Golick this morning.
Mm.
Alright, on to Steffens.
I'm surprised none of us picked Philadelphia to continue on their championship run. The city of Philadelphia.
I just thought about that. Now that I'm gonna stick with my gut, but it's like,
maybe you should have picked Philadelphia.
I went with it on an NBA, but
just because the city's been super lucky lately,
super high.
I'm not complaining. So I did a little more research this year. It went
no mascots.
No mascots. No mascot versus mascot this time.
That was my favorite part.
I know, it's disappointing. I really don't even care now.
I mean, I could still make it up, I guess. I don't know if I know all the mascots off the top of my head, but
okay.
Anyways. Well, you have Predator versus Avalanche.
Predators versus the Avalanche. I mean, Predators. They're like
depends on what kind of predator. If it's the Predator from outer space, they would definitely dominate an Avalanche.
But it's not. That's the thing, is it's not. I mean, you can look at their mascot, and it's definitely not the Predator from outer space. More like a saber-toothed tiger.
Yeah.
But it should be the Predator from outer space. That'd be awesome.
That would be pretty awesome.
Yeah, but that would involve movie rights.
Yeah.
So we know what it really means, but...
A lot of moving parts on that one that just wouldn't work out.
So yeah, it does kind of look like a cat-like Predator.
So, I mean, saber-toothed tigers, they were around for the Ice Age and shit.
They probably survived an avalanche.
I don't think they survived through the Ice Age, but they might have survived a few avalanches. So we're going to say that they probably outran a few avalanches. Winnipeg Jets versus the Minnesota
Wild.
Wild. Yeah, that's right.
What is the Wild?
It's just like a hurricane type thing, I think, isn't it?
I think it's more like Wild Pack or something.
Oh, so they're like wolves?
Yeah. Either way, Jets are just going to bomb them and...
Yeah. I mean, they're going to fly over whatever wild shit they got going on. Might just be a wild party.
Which kind of goes in theory with your next one anyways. The jet strike would destroy any predator.
Oh, yeah. Clearly. I mean, you can outrun an avalanche. You can outrun a jet. And if you do outrun it, the Jets gonna turn around and come back and find you. Avalanche ain't turning around. So
Yeah, Minnesota's logo is like
A little to your left.
okay.
Okay.
I thought it was like a tornado. I looked at it wrong.
it's the outdoors inside of a wolf.
So yeah, Jets in the conference finals. In Vegas, Golden Knights versus the Kings. Usually, you pick the Kings over the Knights.
Yeah.
But really, realistically,
The Knights defend the king.
the Knights defend the King. The Knights are usually...
But normally the King was the best knight at one point.
Or they just married into it,
Yeah.
is the more realistic thing.
Hashtag Game of Thrones.
Hashtag Jon Snow, though, but he is the best knight.
Yeah, like that little shithead. You think he was a better fighter than any? No, I don't think so. So Kings are done. Knights are just way more badass.
And they're golden.
Ducks versus the Sharks.
I feel like we did
I
this
don't even have to
last
go
year.
down.
Yeah,
don't
I
even
feel
have
like
to
we
say
did
it,
this last
Don't
year.
have to explain
Sharks,
that part,
Ducks.
Don't have to explain that one. That one's
This one you have to
self-explanatory.
kind of explain, though. Unless the battle's on land.
Knights versus the Sharks. If it's on land, I mean it's Knights all day. Which,
I mean, the Knights have bow and arrows on boats, so
touche.
So it's knights all day anywhere.
But if it's Jaws type sharks,
Yeah.
Jaws will just destroy.
Which
that
it kind
boat.
of appears to be in their logo.
It does appear that way.
It looks like he ate a hockey player.
But the Vegas Golden Knights, plural, multiple coming after that.
Mm.
San Jose Sharks. Oh, probably multiple Sharks too.
hashtag
Either
the only
way.
thing they have to worry
Either
about
way,
is
like,
army suing
like
them.
the humans' brain power over the sharks.
Yeah, eventually we'd outsmart the Sharks.
Like in Shark or Jaws.
Unless it's
Sharknado.
Sharknado, they're done.
Luckily, it's just the sharks.
Just the Sharks.
Hashtag Sharknado 6, the last Sharknado.
Then it's the Knights versus the Jets.
Which same thing. How do you beat the jet bombing?
You just can't. Just not gonna happen. Can't outrun it. Now, gets a little interesting over here.
Well,
Let me take a swig. We got the Lightning versus the Devils.
can the
I
devil
mean,
die?
You've got Mother Nature versus possibly the most evil being.
I don't think the devil can die.
I'm more looking forward to his next explanation.
Devil's already dead, man.
Yeah, this next one is going to be interesting. The devil I get.
Yeah,
The devil
okay.
actually makes sense where you have him.
Yeah.
So Devil's kind of like God, basically, but just the
Just
opposite.
evil. Yeah.
Bruins versus the Maple Leafs.
They get caught up in the syrup and the bear can't win.
Drowns
I mean,
in maple syrup.
What's the Bears' biggest weakness? Maple syrup.
I thought it was funny, but okay.
Just like tigers hate cinnamon.
So, I mean, the Maple Leaf kind of tricks the Bear into walking off a cliff, and it's game over. Game over for the Bears. Bruins, done. We got the Capitals versus Columbus.
I don't know what they are either.
What do we got there, Kevin?
It's like a senator, I'm guessing. I was looking up.
Senators.
I was looking up what a flyer is. So, hold on.
Blue Jackets.
So, some kind of soldier.
It just looks like a flag,
Right, but I think it's like a patriotic soldier.
probably.
So, what are they facing? Blue Jackets.
Capitals.
Oh man, very political.
Very
matchup.
political matchup. I'm super into politics, so this was just
Nail biter.
my mind was blown on this one. don't even know where to go with it to really explain to you guys.
I'd probably just explain it with the Capitals. They have Ovechkin.
Yeah, I mean, it's
They out-politic their way into this win.
The Blue Jackets was chosen to celebrate patriotism, pride, and the rich Civil War history in the state of Ohio. Oh, Abe Lincoln?
Yeah, but you went against it.
Dead.
You went against Abe.
I didn't know Abe Lincoln was like...
You went against Honest Abe.
That was an old logo, okay? It was an alternate logo.
No.
So yeah, I mean, you got the Capitals versus Civil War. I mean,
I know it's very similar.
What lasted longer? The Capitol, not the Civil War. Thankfully.
Although one might be starting.
So what's a flyer, Kevin?
I was.
Oh, you're looking it up.
I was looking up what a capital was after.
I'm sure it's because they're in Washington.
It's gotta be some sort of bird. Some sort.
I think it's a plane again.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Ed Snyder's sister Phyllis, who named the team when she suggested Flyers
on a return trip from Broadway play.
The more you know.
So it was like an airplane thing.
That's a terrible story. I don't like it.
Either way, you're thinking Penguins can beat them up.
Yeah, either way, regardless.
So how did the Penguins attack the plane? I'm so confused.
The plane landed.
One easy.
Plane landed. Listen, this is just a normal...
Ran out of fuel. Crash.
Plain old 357.
Propeller. Just a propeller.
Not even.
Just a propeller type plane. No jets involved. Penguins took one swipe at the propeller while it was landed for 15 seconds, and that was it.
Took out the captain.
Oh,
so then,
hold on. I have progress on Washington Capitals. And it says, really not much of an interesting story behind the nickname. A name the team contest was held, and out of the submission, team owner Abe Polin chose Capitals because, well, Washington, D.C. is the nation capital.
Yeah, great story.
Ta-da.
So it's just Capital Pride.
Hey,
versus a Penguin.
This has led me down a bad rabbit hole of website called Team Origin names. So.
Get out, Kevin. Get out. Come back to us.
All right, I'm back.
So then, I mean, Devils over the Maple Leafs.
Easy.
You get it. Devil's conquering. Devil ain't getting tricked up by no Maple Leaf.
No, but the Devils could be fooled by, I feel like, Penguins' sweet trickery.
I don't think so.
No,
Devil went down to Georgia.
Devil versus the Penguin. I mean, on one hand, think about it. Where do Penguins live?
Arctic.
Mm-hmm. Now you got the Devil. Where's the Devil live?
Down below in hell.
Fire beats ice. Plain and simple. It's a wrap. There ain't nothing left for the Penguins.
No, it's a full-out burrito.
They can't swim forever.
I like burritos.
True.
So now...
And they can't even fly away.
No, they can't fly at all. They're the worst kind of bird. So now you've got the Jets versus the Devils.
This gets real interesting.
Now, normally, you would think, what could beat a Devil?
Mm-hmm.
Not a lot.
Probably nothing except God.
And
God.
burritos.
And what did God create?
Jets. Wait, God didn't create Penguins?
God teamed up with the Jets to beat the Devil.
Oh, okay.
God is on our side.
Hail Mary.
Full grace.
There you have it. Jets, ladies and gentlemen.
Simple as that.
And it's not the New York Football Jets.
No, they wouldn't have made it off the first round.
No, they wouldn't even be in this bracket.
They'd be interesting on.
On a real note, though, New Jersey Devils beat Tampa Bay every game this year, I think.
All streaks come to an end.
Just saying. That's why I picked them.
But then you likened them to beat everyone else.
Yeah. That's the way it looks, huh? They either won more games or tied everybody that they played. I don't. Maybe I didn't even look at it.
How'd they become a wild card? Sounds like they have a great record.
They play really well against playoff teams and probably sucked against like the shit teams. And maybe I just got to a point. I was like, "Yeah, well, they beat Tampa. They should just sleep right now.
They can beat Pittsburgh.
Why not?
I know.
Why not?
There you have it.
All right.
Winnipeg, Tampa Bay, and Nashville?
Well, that wasted a lot of time.
Or Vegas. Vegas.
Nobody took Nashville.
And watch, they're going to win it all.
Yeah, it's on favorites. Nobody wanted them.
Well, we saw how that worked in college basketball when the odds-on favorite was Virginia. How'd that go?
We're playing a different strategy this time? Is that what you're saying?
Yes. We're all like, we saw what happened the first time.
Not getting burned 2 times in a row here.
Can't get me again, Vegas.
All right. Well, then, I think it's time to move on to this week in Conor McGregor's life. Where are they now?
You back in Ireland yet?
I think so. I saw a picture of him and his wife.
All he got was a slap on the wrist.
Oh, he's thankful. Well, he's not exactly out of the... More than likely, he's fine.
Which is what I said.
Have you guys ever thrown one of those dollies? Impressive on how far he threw that and how high he got it up. I mean, you're talking...
Yeah, I work with them quite a bit. They're not that light.
Yeah.
They're awkward, too.
Yeah.
So,
he's a strong man.
Yeah. Maybe get him a shot put or something. And then, who was it? Chesia, Michael Chesia, I believe.
Yeah.
He's
I
the
just
one.
call him Chesa, but I think it is Chesia, huh?
He took some glass on the. How about turn away when someone throws something at the window? You know?
How about don't be a bitch? I saw the wound. It wasn't even anything.
Well, to be fair,
Well, some people got glass in their eye.
That I'm not complaining. That is one thing.
But still,
but
turn away from the glass. Like you see something thrown. Like if I get a baseball hit towards me, I'm turning away. Like
yeah.
Really,
that's why he gets knocked out in fights. His reaction time is garbage.
But the wound may have been a New York thing because that's what held Holloway out of the fights. Was they prevent him from continuing his weight cut, so they just cut him from the fight overall, which then put Raging Al Iaquinta into the ring with Khabib for a full 5-round fight, going to decision. Needless to say, Khabib pretty much handled his business. However, props to Raging Al. I mean, one day notice you get thrown against this beast and you take him and talk trash to him in the ring and everything. I mean, I had no problems with Raging Al or the decision.
Yeah, I thought it was a clear-cut win for Khabib, but I agree that Al gave his all. He did as best he could. Mm-hmm. And props to Khabib, too, because it wasn't somebody that he was game planning for or training for. So it was awkward for him, too, to have someone just thrown in there. I think that's why when people get shocked, like when someone gets thrown in there and they happen to upset the fighter, it's not that shocking because that person hasn't been training for that style, that person's tendencies. So it's awkward on both sides, I feel. And it tends to normally make ugly fights, and that fight was actually entertaining.
And now we are entered into a really strange, like, triangle factor with Tony Ferguson and Conor McGregor and Khabib. Because Khabib beat Al Iaquinta, who was 11th in the rankings for his belt. And you have Tony, who probably more than likely is the real champ right now, since Conor McGregor has only beat Eddie Alvarez, who actually had the belt. I mean, it's an interesting triangle. Conor's situation, I think right now his only fight now is Khabib with all this. That's his next money fight.
Does the UFC want him anymore?
I think so. I mean, John Jones. Enough said. Like, guy hits a pregnant lady, runs off, and then they play it up as a comeback story. So I think it. You were saying, or Stefan was saying, that it was all staged. I don't think it was staged. I think it was Conor being Conor, which is a little out of control.
Stefan was saying it's a staged thing gone wrong, and I said originally I did think it was staged, but I no longer believe that it was.
I think if it was staged, it would have happened at the press conference itself, where more cameras were.
I still think my other theory is right. I still think it's Conor pushing himself in the spotlight again, because I don't think Conor's fighting a real UFC fighter when he comes back.
Yeah, I think that too, because actually your boy, what's his face, Paulie Malignaggi, was on Below the Belt with Brendan Schaub yesterday, and I listened to that interview, and he was saying it. He's like, the fighters know where the hotels are. He's either at the Sheraton or the Marriott. And if he really wanted to confront him, he would have went to one of those hotels.
Mm-hmm.
But this whole, like, bus situation, that's a whole other deal. Like, that's just to start something, and I think it became something that it wasn't supposed to be. And how about the fighters all being, like, scared and worried on the bus? Like, if you know it's Conor, like, how are you scared and worried? Like, if anything, you can easily take him.
Khabib said that he was yelling for Conor to get on the bus, but Conor wouldn't do that.
Yeah. Because
he said, if you really want to fight me, like, get on the bus. And Conor decided to just throw shit through the windows.
Yeah, kind of
but
like
then,
what he did with Nate Diaz.
Nate Diaz said if it was him and he saw Conor and his 10 dudes, he said, I don't give a shit. I'd walk right outside the bus and beat all their asses. But I believe that he really would try. That's what's funny about it. Because Nate's just different.
There was a fighter that was holding Khabib on the bus, basically, too. Like, hey, don't do that. So, I mean, I forgot who the fighter was, but he was on one of the cars. Let's see if I can refund it. I think it was Dunham.
I think it's good promotion by McGregor, per usual. He's the best promoter I've ever seen, boxing or
worst case scenario, he gets suspended by New York, and they go, okay, well, we'll just have the fight in Dublin then, or Russia. So
I think he'll fight Mayweather either in Ireland or in Vegas.
It's not going to be Mayweather, though. Mayweather is not fighting in the MMA. I promise you that.
He just promised he is.
He said if he does fight, it's going to be.
No, he actually said when.
He said when.
When.
But he did say the price has to be right, but the price will be right. They'll make sure it's right. The question is it Conor or is it CM Punk? Because the rumor mill is whirling, and CM Punk has been awfully quiet.
CM Punk's already got another fight lined up.
Well, Mayweather's still training.
I've heard different, but okay. We'll see. Either way,
you heard Mayweather's not training anymore?
How it's just to keep him relevant.
That doesn't really. I don't get why he would want that. There's no benefit to it.
Just keep his name out there.
Yeah, but for what? If it's not for money, then for what?
Why does he do half the things he does?
For money. But there's no, the way you're talking, there's no money involved. So what's the point?
I don't know.
There's got to be money. Money. My point is, there's a money hole somewhere. Because he doesn't just do things not for money.
Who knows?
Unless he's going to like shock the world and really come back for boxing, even though he's promised he's not. Mm-hmm. I don't think he is either. I think he knows he can't win against the top guys anymore. But I think he's cocky enough to believe he can beat an MMA fighter.
Especially CM Punk.
Yeah. But he's got his own issues. I don't know if you guys saw the news. He was just shot at in a drive-by shooting in Atlanta. They have no suspects. I don't know how familiar the police are with him. Apparently not that familiar. But 2 years ago, he claimed to have had sex with T.I.'s wife. T.I.'s from Bankhead, Atlanta. That's exactly where Floyd Mayweather was. So I can kind of connect the dots. Apparently they don't want to make that connection yet. So T.I.'s also been arrested for being caught with an arsenal of weapons, all illegal.
You can't just make that connection if you don't have proof.
They don't have proof yet, which they aren't going to get proof because
Right.
It's a drive-by. But I mean, it's kind of obvious what happened. He had stayed out of Atlanta for years. He probably thought it was okay to go back. And there was a message sent that, get the fuck out of Atlanta. And 50 Cent did warn him that Floyd can run his mouth to other boxers, and it's a totally different thing that when you're running your mouth to people who actually live in the streets. You might want to keep your mouth shut, which Conor needs to learn too. It's one thing to run your mouth towards MMA fighters, but if you're going to start beating up Irish mob members, it gets a little different.
Or Russian. The other championship belt that was on the line, Namajunas versus Jędrzejczyk. Namajunas won by decision. I feel fine with it, even though Joanna thought she won, which, after looking at her face after the fight, come on, you should know better. Like,
I only had to watch it once, and I thought it was pretty easy to score.
Yeah, I think Rose took first, second, and fifth rounds, so I have no issues.
I have an issue with it.
I thought Joanna only won one round.
Well,
I gave her the third.
Yeah, that fourth round could have went either way, but I was just saying I definitively know Rose won first, second, and fifth. So
yeah.
Needless to say, I don't know what's next for Rose, but I will say someone we didn't cover because he was on the UFC Fight Pass prelims before everything went down, made it all the way to the main card. Zabit is my new favorite fighter. Guy is 6.
You have a new favorite fighter every week, dude.
Hey. No, I don't.
Yeah, you do.
Oh, yeah? Name my last favorite fighter.
I don't know.
Was it Romero? Or no, it was that one guy who had the crazy press conference at, like, in the middle of the...
One that was talking about taking a shit or something?
Yeah, he was saying some crazy stuff.
That was Derek Lewis, and that was like a year ago.
Lewis. Yeah, Derek Lewis.
That was like a year ago. Jeez.
So last year's stuff. This new fighter every year.
This year's new favorite
new fighter every year.
Zabit Magomedov. Another Russian.
Next April, you need a new fighter.
145. He's 6'1", just scrappy. He's got a lot of hair on him, big ass head, but he is just quick and outclassed Kyle Boknik. And I was impressed with this fight. One fight of the night, and well deservedly so. So keep your eyes out on that in the 145 coming up. A lot was announced too, MMA wise. Some more fights. Corey's already making his picks, but let's take a review of our current picks. Actually, I forgot about that. Mainly because I wanted to. Because I lost my reign of first place yet again.
Even though you've only gotten one fight wrong.
Yeah. One fight wrong. I'm in second.
And the guy who's in first got 3 wrong.
Yes. Shows Stefan still has a chance.
Still there.
Yep. We all took Khabib. Our MMA expert took the decision, took the win, all 5 points, which put him in first with 14. I'm in at 12. Corey's at 11, keeping it very close up top with Stefan with 3.
Still a chance.
I was
There's
just
a lot of
making
events.
Honestly, I just made sure I did the math right there. I was like, wait, was it 3 or has he got more? And I was like, all right, he does have 3. Dodge bullet there. You picked Joanna. That's the reason why you're at 3. So, and that Corey and I picked up a point each fight.
Let's just talk about the fact that the last 2 fights I've gotten 1 right at least in each one.
Mm-hmm. And 2 points because you called the Cyborg KO right.
Yeah. The next fight, May 12th, down in Brazil, Rio de Janeiro. I don't even know if I think Corey, one of your fights may have changed. One of your picks. Nunes Pennington is the main event. Nunes coming off of her win against someone I don't remember. I want to say it was Holly Holm. No, Shevchenko. Back in September. That's why I can't remember. It's almost a half a year ago. And then also on the card, we have Souza Gastelum. And then Belfort Machida. So nothing's changed. All right. Someone else got pulled from this card and put on a Chicago card.
That's the card I'm interested in, is the Chicago one.
So we'll talk more eventually about that. And let's move on to... Hold on, I always forget I have sound clips for some of these segments. I gotta get on the ball here. 2 into college right now. Stupid school. It's time for Corey's NASCAR update. Oh, crap. It's time for Corey's NASCAR update.
So, Texas, crazy race.
Computer just malfunctioned.
A lot of crashes in Texas. A lot of big name drivers crashed early. Jimmy Johnson, Brad Keselowski, Martin Truex Jr. All were less points than Alex Bowman and Daniel Suarez, so we made the right choice not taking a big name driver. I did predict a Kyle Busch win. He won. Unfortunately, I didn't have a chance to take him. Not that I was going to anyways, but Kevin did, and he got that win. We move on. Yeah, we move on to Bristol, a short track. So it's a track in which speed does not matter. It's more about your driving, your foot, your pedal skills. This is like the first time in a little while I don't agree with who Kevin took to win the race. I actually think
I'm actually running out of options for winners. So.
I actually think it could be the other Busch brother, Kurt Busch, and I think Chase Elliott has sleeper potential to get his first career NASCAR win.
Who I took in week 2.
Having said that,
You picked neither of them.
I picked neither. I took Clint Boyer because he raced really well at the other short track that they've raced at so far, Martinsville. He won it. So I'm hoping that he continues his short track success. Kevin had first pick. He took Ryan Blaney because Kevin has kind of ran through the top tier drivers. He has, on my list of top tier, he has one left, which would be Jimmy.
Mm-hmm.
And
But
and Steph.
can I describe why I chose Blaney?
Sure.
Because last year he did top 10 pole, and then I think a crash took him out in the first race, and then in the second race he finished in the top 10. That's why I picked him.
I don't think he'll be bad there.
No,
I'm not.
I'm just hoping to get some points now.
I don't know if Stefan was thinking the same thing as me because I don't think he knows quite as much about the drivers, but McMurray is a really talented driver as far as pedal skills, and he will probably have a sneaky good finish at Bristol.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Right. I figured. I think this is a week where all three of us, it'll be a week similar to Las Vegas, where all three of us pick some drivers that will be near the top.
No. And the week Corey won.
But I'm gonna.
Yeah, I just was going with a week. We at least were all in the 40s that week. The only other similar week was Phoenix, but I think it'll be more of a Bristol type week for us, or Vegas type week. And we do it all again next week because Richmond is also a short track. They do 2 short tracks right in a row. This was a time where Carl Edwards and Matt Kenseth normally dominated, both of whom retired last year. So it'll be new blood for the winners of these races.
All right.
That's all I got.
Somebody's got to end Kevin's streak.
This is our first chance.
I know.
Well,
that's not true. Elliot.
We could have won. I don't know.
You know what was funny was I tuned into this towards the end. Like I looked at it and Busch was in second place. I'm like, oh, like he's gonna fall apart. And then he ended up winning the race. And I was like, oh,
yeah,
all right then.
Yeah, he had to beat out Harvick. Harvick could have gone for his 4th win already. Harvick's on fire this year. He's gonna be tough to beat.
No one else has.
Actually, Stuart Haas Racing is kind of on fire. It consists of Kurt Busch, Clint Boyer, and Harvick, all who are racing very well. Toyota's running hot. All the Toyota cars are racing well. All the Chevys haven't figured it out yet. So that's why I'm not touching Jimmy Johnson until I see Chevy start winning our damn race.
All right. Well, on to the Masters in Augusta. And we all picked our golfers. And we were going to have Jason on to recap, but he had some things come up where, understandably, he couldn't watch it. So he picked Rose, who came in second to me in my greatness. My golf greatness continues with my Bubba Watson pick. Corey, Tiger Woods never really had a shot.
He made the cut, though. I heard an expert said he wouldn't make the cut, and he did.
And Stefan took Thomas, who was keeping up with Watson for a little while. He made me a little nervous, not gonna lie. And then kind of fell apart on Sunday.
By the way, the last day, Woods shot better than everybody except Watson.
Out of our guys. I was going to say, he didn't shoot better than Jordan Spieth.
No.
I was like, that's a bold-faced lie.
No, I was looking it up because I was like, how did he even get up to a 1? He must have played
well. Reed was the winner. He's kind of like your college bad boy. Got kicked out of one school. I forgot which school. for drinking too much. Played at Augusta College, I believe, for his remaining few. Took it home. Had a big lead at one point. Ended up winning by 1. Almost blew a 2-stroke lead on the final hole. All the pressure was on him. And it turned out there was no pressure.
He had a 1-stroke lead on the final hole.
I thought it was 2. I don't know. I stopped paying attention.
He had to get a par to win.
Yeah. So, there you go. Next up, U.S. Open. Somewhere in the U.S. I believe it's in the Hamptons.
What was Reed's first name?
Patrick.
I thought it was Adam.
I saw that. I was like, Adam. No, definitely not Adam.
All right. On to MLB, where we have finally, and by we, I mean me, created a group on Streak or Beat the Streak. It's an app, or, just a regular thing on MLB.com. Ooh. And look us up under the group We Might Know Sports. Go ahead and try and beat all 3 of us. Or, go for the streak and win $5.6 million. The goal behind this is to pick someone that will get a hit that day and continue picking until you beat, I believe it's Roger Maris's hit streak of 56 games in a row.
Joe DiMaggio.
There we go. I knew it was a Yankee. That's all I knew. And hey, I knew it was the record. I knew the basics.
Yeah, you got the number right.
And so,
He's not very good with names.
I think winner of our group will get a golden thumb. So you got
Fair
150 enough. Games to beat the streak. Me, I may have already cheated and picked someone today, so got a head start.
Fair enough. We have a long ways to go.
No, in my luck, he probably won't even get a hit today. So, all right.
6
5 strikeouts later. All right. We have one thing left. Stefan's awesome, amazing. Totally honest.
It's not mine anymore.
It is yours.
No, it's not.
It started with you. This is all your fault. We brought
It's
it
been
back.
taken over.
We brought it back. Made it better. Today, it's the top 5 things we're going to do now that college basketball's over. I think it's safe to say number 5 for me is this podcast.
Had to do a lot of thinking for that one.
Yeah.
Number 5 for me, I'm going to drink more water.
Number 5 for me, I'm going to prepare for our fantasy draft in August.
Good number 5.
Fantasy football draft, by the way.
I wasn't expecting to get back to them that quick.
I don't even have a 4. Number 4. Build a fence. True story.
Build a fence. Number 4 for me. I might actually focus on finishing up school. Not being distracted.
Number 4 for me is watch the NBA playoffs.
Number 4 for me is build a fence. Because I already said that. So number 3. Sorry, these are 9%. I just realized that. So. Number 3 for me is watch some Major League Baseball. Going to a Mariners game next week with our MMA expert, actually.
Number 3 for me.
I challenged
you
him
done?
to the
Go ahead.
9-9 competition. That didn't work out. He said it's too expensive. So
Who'd you challenge to it?
Ben, yeah.
Yeah, it sucks you guys don't have a minor league.
He's like my ringer. Well, we do, but it's down in Tacoma. That's just even further of a drive.
Yeah. You have to, like, stay the night there.
No one wants to stay in Compton. All right.
Number 3 for me. You guys could just watch a game on TV. Sorry.
That's what we're going to do. We're going to end up doing that. That was number 2, spoiler.
Oh. Number 3 for me. I think I'm going to watch some, little bit of, NHL playoffs, Stanley Cup.
Not a bad one.
I actually enjoy the playoffs. I'll get into it a little bit when I have the time.
And your team of choice is Winnipeg?
Winnipeg. That's only because their farm team is the Manitoba Moose.
And you like them?
Just sounds like a badass team. So yeah.
Number 3 for me is watch the first 2 rounds of the NFL draft. After that, I don't care because I start to not know who anybody is.
Well, my number 2's already been spoiled. The 999 competition where you eat 9 hot dogs, 9 beers, drink 9 beers, and 9 innings of baseball. Probably end up streaming that because, I know I'm not going to be able to do it because I start to throw up after 3 hot dogs. So, but I will.
You also start throwing up after 3 beers, I think.
No, I didn't throw up. I just knew I wasn't gonna win, so I just gave up. I wasn't going for the fact of finishing, which technically you didn't either. But I was just going.
I finished.
You ran a mile,
but I finished. I ran it all.
A mile, yeah.
You didn't even run it all.
I ran 0.75 miles. I ran that last lap with you.
My number 2 will be to watch as much of the NBA playoffs as possible. And part 2 of my 2 to dominate the one and done.
My number 2 is to lose 15 pounds by the start of next college basketball season.
You'll lose all muscle.
Me?
Is that like a challenge, or is that just a?
It's a challenge to myself.
I thought you were saying something about your co-host.
Because the first 5 pounds will come off easy, just because I'm going to be active at work. But the next 10, I have to actually try.
Have to do push-up competition again.
I'm going second this time.
I'll go first. I'll set the
bar. Number 1 for me is going to be watching the Philadelphia 76ers win the NBA Finals.
So, 4 of yours are real things and 1's a fantasy.
Gotta have that fantasy.
I guess mine's 15 pounds lost.
My number 1 is going to be watching every breaking news for Gonzaga basketball.
We have similar number 1s. My number 1 is to start to save money so I can go see Gonzaga versus North Carolina down in Chapel Hill and watch the Tar Heels tear down Gonzaga's dreams of going undefeated this year.
We're going to tear down the ceiling. That's the roof. Okay? We're going to put in a new roof.
Gonzaga roof.
Rui's roof.
Rui's roof.
Dilly. Is he back next year?
Yep.
He didn't leave?
It hasn't been confirmed. Rui's back. Tilly hasn't.
Confirmed.
Yeah.
Just like Battle hasn't. But you had breaking news. Brissett confirmed.
Yes. So there's a little hope for Syracuse fans next year.
Mikal Bridges from Villanova did announce he's leaving.
Even though
Brunson
Stephen
has
isn't.
not announced anything yet.
Still got to what, 22nd? We figured it out.
Mm-hmm.
There was a bunch of announcements though yesterday of either staying or going. Just making sure I didn't miss any battle news. Sorry.
No, I would have seen it too.
You can't wait to break your heart.
Mm-hmm. You guys weren't as excited about Rui staying as that was.
You know why? Because I just thought he was. Like, it didn't really. I mean, I know you probably didn't think he really would, but you were just really hoping he wouldn't, I guess, is what I'm trying to say.
It's not so much that I
For
didn't
you.
think he would, because like you said, he wasn't projected like
Very
a lottery
high.
pick
No.
or even in the first round.
Right. He was a late second rounder.
Right.
That's why I didn't think he would.
I will say, Ty's battle has inspired one of our future segments. And that is the bracket of Nickelodeon favorite TV shows. So that'll be coming. I don't even know half of these shows, though. So.
Oh yeah, that could have been my number one. Make more brackets.
We were gonna try to start to do some more brackets.
Yeah, remember I said
I was
after
just
school.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
didn't know how long the NHL and NBA stuff was going to take, so
Well, he got two. Yeah, he have two brackets going. Yeah, three kind of. The one and done's kind of one.
yeah. So we're good until for a little while at least.
I mean, the other ones that
They're done.
no, like I mean, like that kind of stuff. We don't have to wait for it. We can just pick it. I don't know. How do you want to do it? Do you want to have people vote for it?
I thought we were going
or-
to vote for it on the podcast, have discussions about it, kind of like what we do with college basketball.
Gotcha. We'll just have someone be a tie. Oh yeah, because we're gonna do each one was kind of like we each get to pick a 1 seed or something like that, right?
Yeah.
Or we each get to pick, or we should get to fill out one region. I get to fill out 2 regions. Is that what it is?
If it's your topic.
I thought it was a tiebreaker.
Either way, more brackets.
More brackets.
Walking Dead season finale this weekend.
I didn't watch the last episode, so don't say anything.
Well, Negan died, so it's okay.
Is it the series finale yet?
No. Actually, season 9, there's rumors already floating about with Jeffrey Dean Morgan on the interview train and his mighty beard and how it might tie into the comics. So there's that.
The comic's still going, so the show's gonna keep going.
The show
It's not
still
like Game
gets
of Thrones,
millions
where
of
they
viewers.
just decided to stop writing and the
'cause
show exceeded it.
Because the author can't keep up.
They can take like some seasons off and like just chill for a minute.
Yeah, but he takes 10 years to write a book, so
Are they good books?
I'm just saying.
Don't rush the fucking guy.
He's released like 7 chapters. At the rate he's going, the whole book will already be published by the time it's actually printed.
Let the man do what he does.
He's gonna die. He's
No
2
one's
books.
reading the books anyways.
He's 2 books behind when the series ends.
That's why he's just helping them with the show. That's why he doesn't even have to finish the books.
This is the last season of Game of Thrones, right?
Yes.
Westworld starts this month.
Yep. Pumped for that.
Saw something that
People are excited about Infinity War coming to the theaters because it's going to be all the Marvel characters finally on the screen together.
I still haven't watched the other.
Which
I didn't
one?
even watch Civil War.
Yeah.
This is Marvel's 10-year anniversary.
It's on Netflix. How can you have not watched it?
Kevin, I just don't have the time.
Oh, but you have the time to watch The Office 5 times.
I just put that on. I don't even pay attention to that half the time. But I will watch it.
He's been watching he's been catching up on Roseanne.
Not been doing.
Big
So he can
Trump
prep
supporter.
himself for the new season.
New season's already out.
I know. But
Or
there's only like
straight.
2 episodes or something like that. I don't know. I don't watch it.
I don't watch it either.
Not a fan.
Unless they're bringing back The Office. I don't know any reboots.
There's a rumor about that.
There was a rumor about it.
I thought John Krasinski said he'd be open to it, but he had a different take on what they should do. He doesn't think they should just bring it back like they're working at that place or whatever.
Where are they now?
Yeah, it was like a where are they now type thing.
Yeah, I don't know how they would do that.
John Krasinski's got a movie in theaters right now that I kind of want to see, though.
I heard
that
it's
he directed,
good.
Quiet Place, with his wife, Emily Blunt.
Heard it's a good one.
Yep.
That's what I heard as well.
I heard him say he
Also-
doesn't really want to act anymore now that he's done a movie with her.
He's also got a TV show coming out on Amazon later this year.
Jenna Fisher has a TV show out now.
Yeah.
Pam.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I haven't watched that. I wanted to watch it, but I haven't watched it yet.
This one's for you, Stefan. Someone I was talking to sat there and goes, "Oh, Jenna Fisher, she's in a new show I'm watching." And I was like, "Or The Office." And she was like, "Yeah, but she's also in this new show, so she's more known for the new show." I was like, "No, she's known for The Office."
Yeah, no, she's known for The Office.
Known for The Office, definitely. I don't think she's known for anything else.
Yeah.
Well, she was in
she caused some things
Blades
on
of
Twitter.
Glory.
Blades of Glory.
Yeah, she was in that with Will Ferrell
Mm.
and John Heater.
That's about the only other thing I know that she was in.
It's like the only other movie I know John Heater to be in, besides Napoleon Dynamite.
What do you mean? No, he was in that. He was in.
He's in a Reese movie too, actually. He
He's
plays
in-
someone who can see ghosts.
Oh, that's not what I'm thinking of. He was in.
Bruce Willis?
Reese Witherspoon.
What the hell is that movie called? They were like. They were like. They were like mentally challenged like, baseball
yeah,
players.
the bullpen or the dugout or something. it was
Something,
called.
yeah. It's got like
It has David Spade in it.
David Spade and also has Rob Schneider.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's in that movie too.
Yeah, he's in that one. That was a classic.
He puts out classics.
Mm-hmm. Is Blades of Glory a top 5 Will Ferrell movie? Is that to be debated on a future episode?
I'm not a Will Ferrell fan.
We might have to do a bracket on Will Ferrell.
Will
movies.
Ferrell movies? Yeah. That'd be a good bracket.
No, I'm not a big Will Ferrell fan, though.
Oh.
Well, then you can have a shitty region.
I like him in I'll take the old school region. Spoiler alert, old school.
Old School's definitely a number 1 seed. No?
It's too hard for me to think of them all right now, but yeah, probably it is.
Step
Anchorman, I would say, is probably the number 1 overall seed for most people. I'm not even a huge Anchorman fan, but a lot of people are.
Then there's Step Brothers.
That's my favorite. That would be my
Talladega
pick.
Nights.
See, I hated Talladega.
Tropic Thunder. Oh, no, not
Yeah.
Tropic
No,
Thunder.
no,
Tropic.
he wasn't in
Yeah.
Tropic Thunder.
No, it wasn't Tropic Thunder.
Oh,
Tropic
no,
Thunder
no,
is
no.
the one where
Oh,
they...
yeah.
Yeah.
The basketball one wasn't even
Basketball.
called Tropic anything. It was semi-pro.
Semi-pro.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there you go.
But there were the Flint Tropics.
Yes.
There's another one, basketball movies.
The soccer one I actually liked, Kicking and Screaming.
Oh, yeah.
Everything Must
Everything
Go.
Must Go.
He was in one where he hears a voice in his head, and it's Emma Thompson as he's like she's writing a book.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
I think I know. That's right.
I remember that one.
Yeah.
I didn't see it, though.
Can't remember the name of it. I actually liked that one too.
I'm surprised this wasn't considered a 1 seed. Elf.
Elf.
Elf. Well, there's a lot of possible ones.
Yeah, there's quite a few.
That's what I mean. If you start ripping them out,
There might be a debate over the number
the
one
other
seeds.
guys, a lot of people like.
Other guys, yeah.
Highly contested number one seeds.
The other guys has one of my favorite Will Ferrell scenes where he's just like ripping on how ugly his wife is, and it's freaking Ava Mendes.
Yeah. And then you have what's his face, just like, hi.
Yeah, Mark
Sorry.
Wahlberg.
Yeah.
He's like, shut up. Where's your wife? He's like, no, this is it. He's like, no, stop joking.
This is my ugly wife.
He's like, I know, she's that much of a looker.
Oh, jeez.
All right. Well, make that a note. Will Ferrell movies. I didn't even realize I liked Will Ferrell movies.
There's a ton. There probably really is 64 of them.
Mhm.
That's what's crazy.
You gotta let me fly.
'Cause he's got that one with Kevin Hart.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
They
yeah.
just did Daddy's Home 1 and 2.
Oh, yeah.
I haven't watched those.
The House just came out. That's on HBO right now. It's like a gambling one. He's got so many. He's probably really. We didn't even say the Knights one. Him and the guy where they're dancing in like the club. That famous scene.
Oh,
I think
Yeah.
that's his first movie.
His sketch from SNL.
Yeah, that is his first movie. I don't know what that's called though. I should know.
What's it called? Not Boogie Nights.
No, that's what I wanted to say, and it's not Boogie Nights.
There's a lot.
Yeah, there's a lot. He's been successful for quite a long time now.
You could do that with a lot of actors.
But then you could also do genres, and then it gets real interesting. Like, what if you just do the greatest comedies of all time?
He's got 104 actor credits.
Yeah, so there's probably at least 60
So I feel like
of those are movies.
We gotta stick to ones where he's like as like a
The
star
centerpiece.
role.
Yeah, definitely.
It's like you can't like I wouldn't put like Wedding Crashers where he has like a small role in it.
Right.
I don't consider him being in that movie like a star role.
Yeah, he's in it, but not the star.
Although I love his character.
Wow, the meatloaf.
Meatloaf. I never know what she's doing.
So you crash funerals?
Gotta buy
He's like pretending to cry.
Boats and hoes. He was in Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back.
Probably another.
See, that's
small
one of
role.
those small role ones, probably. Yeah,
Superstar.
I think he's done voice like characters, like
Oh,
animation
yeah.
characters.
Sure, he's done that.
So
He was Jesus in Superstar. What? He was in the Angry Beavers. Austin Powers. Jeez.
Which Austin Powers?
be one of the
International
leader
Man
ones.
of Mystery.
Yeah.
Mustafa. Alright, well, there's a bracket for you. Maybe we'll do like 16 or 48 or whatever. Doesn't
Yeah, we
have to
don't
be.
do all 64.
No. No, I'm just saying if you wanted to with him, you could, because I
Alright.
think he's done that many movies.
Yeah.
That's kind of a random actor to pick too, because
Ah.
he's like none of our favorites.
Highly debated. Coming this June. I'll give us until June to come up with that bracket.
No, before June. Wait,
well,
no,
we got to
June to do?
decide the seeds. That's going to
Yeah,
be
that's-
debated.
Not gonna take that long.
It'll be highly debated. We were just arguing about the 5-1 seeds.
Okay, you're telling me that we can't just hash this out and figure it out? Like, come on, man.
It'll be
Well-
like at least a half hour to 40 minutes of an episode though, of our podcast to hash out.
We're gonna hash out just the seeds
Yeah.
on the podcast, and then we're not even gonna pick the bracket.
Well,
But do a different
no,
That'll be
podcast.
next
no, I
bracket?
guess the
episode.
whole podcast will be dedicated to it.
We gotta get
No.
viewers coming back. We'll decide the seeds and then we'll
Yeah,
think it
next
over.
week.
I'll watch the episodes or movies and go from there.
Might be a lot of movies gotta watch.
I better not give all mine back. Talking about getting rid of a lot of them. Not a ton of Will Ferrell movies. Now that we're naming them all, I don't even like a lot. Like I don't even like Will Ferrell like that. But
for research,
Step Brothers. That's my pick. Or one seed. That's my favorite one.
I don't think there's an issue with that being number one because I'd give you the nod.
I think I'd be okay with that.
All right, then my one seed is good. We hashed it out for me.
We'll figure it out. All right, let's end this show. Only because I didn't play it earlier. We'll leave with this. So next week we have NBA playoffs, NHL playoffs. I think that's it.
And it's the Corey and Kevin show.
Oh, so it'll be a fun one.
Little baseball and a little NASCAR athlete.
Probably maybe we'll try and come up with a 16 thing bracket and we'll decide.
Alright.
Something.
Who wants to do a bracket?
Yeah. We gotta fill an hour and a half.
You can do a bracket without me. I do the bracket. I'm the bracket guy, okay?
We'll just have a short podcast.
I'm the bracket
We'll
guy.
have you make it.
Come up with a bracket idea and then run it by you.
Listen, we've got the brackets that we're working with right now. We ain't doing no more brackets till I get back.
So in the meantime, work on that Will Ferrell list then. I'd say at least 232 probably.
I feel like Corey and I could do like a bracket of fighters.
Okay, yeah, you can do that if you want.
We could absolutely do that.
Yeah, we'll do boxing
MMA
versus
fighters?
MMA. Boxing versus MMA. One side
so
be
Each
boxing.
do 8 or each do 16.
Let's do 16.
Alright. I'll come up with that over the course of the week.
I'll come up with 16 MMA fighters and we'll go from there.
I have to do the bracket because I don't know how to use that stuff.
Do I gotta put you through the Excel class?
Yes.
I mean, either that or Stefan can at least give us 16 boxes to fill out.
Just make you the bracket?
Yeah.
I could probably make you a
Just
blank.
make an empty bracket.
I could probably make you a blank bracket.
Thanks.
We could probably even just use that generic bracket.
I was gonna say, like, don't we have like one?
You could probably just steal one of the ones that I have already up.
We'll figure it out. But until then, it's always cool.
A-Town, get shot.
A-Town man down.